A roar rips through a ruined city, a sound of pure primal rage that shakes the foundations of what's left.
Oh, but that's not the roar of the king.
A shadow falls, cast by a challenger. One born from impossible science and fueled by a prehistoric hunger. This is a fan-fiction showdown decades in the making. For years, fans have asked the question, could the tyrant lizard king, the absolute apex predator of its time, actually stand a chance against the king of the monsters? Let's be honest, in a real fight, the answer is a quick and simple no. Standard T-Rex wouldn't even be an appetizer. It wouldn't reach Godzilla's knee. It'd be a footnote. But we're not talking about a standard T-Rex, are we? This is a creature from the purely speculative Jurassic World Rebirth program. Something that only exists for this fight. The idea was to take the T-Rex's genetic code and crank it to 11. They imagined scaling up its body to a colossal size, reinforcing its hide-like armor, and boosting its predatory smarts. This isn't a battle of nature. It's a throwdown between two titans, one born of radiation, the other of reckless ambition. And the battle is on, by the rebirth T-Rex. Moving with a speed that just shouldn't be possible for something so massive, immediately shows off its enhanced brain. Instead of charging headfirst to its doom, it gets smart. It uses the shattered urban landscape as a weapon, weaving between wrecked skyscrapers to dodge Godzilla's first few atomic blasts. The T-Rex turns the concrete jungle into its own personal hunting ground. Lunging from the dust and smoke, it sinks its reinforced teeth into Godzilla's thigh. The bite is immense, and it draws blood, but it's a shallow victory. Godzilla, looking more annoyed than injured, answers with a casual flick of his tail. The impact is devastating, launching the T-Rex through an entire city block. It's a brutal reminder of the raw power it's messing with. The lesson is brutal and clear. Smarts don't mean much against a walking natural disaster. Battered but not broken, the T-Rex gets back up, its enhanced mind already processing the hard lesson learned. A direct fight is suicide. It has to outthink the king. What comes next is a display of urban tactics dreamed up in a lab. The T-Rex starts methodically taking the city apart around Godzilla, causing buildings to collapse in avalanches of steel and concrete. It even tears up streets to make the ground beneath Godzilla unstable. For a split second, the impossible happens. Godzilla, the very symbol of unstoppable force, actually stumbles. He's distracted and furious at this clever, relentless assault. He's knocked off balance. The T-Rex seizes the opportunity, lunging for the throat, a desperate all-or-nothing move. In many fan matchups, the gills are a classic weak point, but it's a trick. As Godzilla instinctively moves to guard his neck, the T-Rex changes its target, going for a much bigger prize. It turns out that pushing a god too far has consequences. Enraged by the trickery, Godzilla unleashes his true, terrifying power. The blue glow on his dorsal plates intensifies, pulsing with pure nuclear fury. He stops playing defense and goes on an all-out offensive, letting loose a continuous, sweeping beam of atomic breath that just melts everything. The city, the T-Rex's clever maze, is vaporized into glass and ash. The rebirth T-Rex is caught in the blast, its genetically engineered hide sizzling under the intense heat. The pain is off the charts, pushing it past strategy and right back to its primal core. Strategy is gone. Intellect is burned away by pure rage. With a defiant roar that echoes its first challenge, the T-Rex charges head-on into the atomic firestorm. A living spear of muscle and bone aimed straight at the king's heart. Now, here's where the scientists who cooked up this T-Rex had a wild and completely unproven theory. They believed that Godzilla's dorsal plates, the very things that channeled his atomic power, weren't just for show. They were a potential liability. Their theory, which isn't supported by any official movie lore, was that if a major plate could be shattered, the energy feedback might set off a chain reaction, overwhelming him from the inside. It's a 1 in a billion shot, a desperate last-ditch effort. With the last of its strength, the T-Rex leaps onto Godzilla's back, its powerful jaws clamping down hard on the largest central dorsal plate. The pressure is insane. The plate groans, cracks, and then shatters, unleashing a blinding wave of raw, uncontrollable atomic energy. Godzilla bellows, a sound of both agony and fury, as his own power surges completely out of his control. The explosion that follows is silent and total. A sphere of pure blue energy swallows both titans, wiping the battlefield clean. When the light fades, only one figure is left standing. Godzilla, scarred, smoking, and badly wounded, rises from the epicenter. The challenger, the ultimate predator born from human ambition, is simply gone, erased by the very power it tried to defeat. Godzilla lets out one last final roar. It isn't just a roar of victory. It's a declaration that his reign as the one true king of the monsters is absolute. Look, this whole fight is pure fan fiction. The rebirth program and the dorsal plate weakness were made up for this epic what-if. But it's a fun way to explore what it would actually take to challenge the king. In the end, even a monster literally engineered for victory doesn't stand a chance against a god. But that's just our take. What do you think? Could any version of a T-Rex, no matter how ridiculously upgraded, ever truly beat Godzilla? What kind of fictional power-ups would it need to have a shot at the crown? Drop your ultimate monster showdown theories in the comments below, and don't forget to subscribe for more epic battles.